if you're curious about the story of our human origins as I am, then you are in for a fascinating journey today. But before we dive into the world of Y chromosomal Adam, do me a favor, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting biology and genetics content. Remember, knowledge is power. You might remember the story of Adam and Eve from your religious or cultural upbringing, the tale of Eve offering an apple from the tree of knowledge to Adam has been depicted in countless works of art. So who was Chromosomal Adam? Chromosomal Adam is our most recent common ancestor, MRCA, and this is the definition in human genetics. And what that means is that most human males have a Y chromosome which they inherited from their father, and their father got it from their grandfather, and the Y chromosome undergoes relatively low amount of recombination, and it does not recombine with the X chromosome, and it also doesn't really undergo many mutations. There's only a few genes on the Y chromosome and some repetitive regions on the Y chromosome, but for the most part it's relatively well preserved from generation to generation. So the scientists analyzed the rate of mutation on the Y chromosome, and they found that most men on Earth have this Y chromosomal Adam as the most recent ancestor. Now we have to remember we are talking here about paternal inheritance through the Y chromosome. So it really only applies to those who have the Y chromosome, to males. In terms of all people on Earth, males and females, we can talk about something called maternal inheritance. And here where the idea of the mitochondrial Eve comes into play, and we will talk about the Eve hypothesis in another video. So indeed there were two most recent ancestors, the so-called Y chromosomal Adam and the mitochondrial Eve. The interesting part is that estimates of when YMRCA Adam lived have shifted as our knowledge of human ancestry has evolved. As of 2015, estimates of the age of YMRCA Adam range from 200,000 to 300,000 years ago, roughly coinciding with the emergence of anatomically modern humans, Cro-Magnon. There is an interesting debate whether chromosomal Adam and mitochondrial Eve lived during the same time period. Some scientists say yes and some say no, so it's still not clear. So it's in a way too early to say if this is a type of hypothesis where science and religion seem to find common ground, because we don't know based on the genetics estimates if those two lovers lived during the same time. Now it's important to clarify that Y chromosomal Adam does not mean he was the only man alive during his time. His male contemporaries may also have descendants today, but not through solely patrilineal descent. They lack an unbroken male line connecting them to living people. So what that means is that some men or women or people who exist today, they may have descended from other common male ancestor. As of now, the genome of all living humans hasn't been examined. So there is room for future discoveries to adjust these estimates of the age of Y chromosomal Adam and mitochondrial E. So where might Y chromosomal Adam have lived? Adam could have lived in general region of northwest or central or north Africa. This was determined based on polymorphisms and repetitive sequences called STRs, or short tandem repeats, found on the Y chromosome. So it turns out that different ethnic groups have different versions of the Y chromosome, meaning they might have slightly different markers, single nucleotide polymorphisms or short tandem repeats, STRs, polymorphisms, or RFLPs, which are known as restriction fragment length polymorphisms. So basically, depending on the ethnic group, men belong to different haplogroups based on their Y chromosome. So based on the Y chromosome, you can predict which haplogroup a man belongs to. And what can be done then is we could look at the rate of mutation on the Y chromosome, and we can look at the patterns of human migration, and that allowed us to come up with this estimation that Y chromosomal Adam must have lived in Africa, probably in North Africa, and then from there Homo sapiens migrated to other geographic regions and established different haplogroups. Now you might be wondering if there's a way to learn about your own Y chromosome. Well, there are services that allow you to explore your Y chromosomal ancestry through Y DNA tests, like those provided, for example, by a company called YFool. These tests can predict your haplogroup, which consists of people who descended from a common ancestor thousands of years ago. So essentially, if you are a male and you have Y chromosome, and if you go ahead and you sequence your genome using next generation DNA sequencing technology, you could send it to a company called YFool, and they can, based on your DNA test, they can predict your haplogroup, showing you how your Y chromosome has evolved over generations, and they can point you to a common ancestor for your patrilineal, for your paternal line. So through your father, they can tell you where you descended from. So they could tell you about your paternal ancestry. So there you have it, the intriguing story of Y chromosomal Adam. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, hit the bell, and stay tuned for our next episode. Until then, keep exploring the mysteries of biotech.